And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carriker.
I miss newspapers. It's weird hitting a dog on the nose with an iPad.
And welcome to Fourth and Pain, the best pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and the weight loss champion. He is Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker. I am weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. And Adam, what a way to start the season. Nobody saw this coming, and if they did, they could not have predicted it be in any more sensational fashion.
Yeah, it was a great way to start the season, a great win. You know, we got 15 more games, so it's a long season, but it's a great way to start. Couldn't ask for a much better beginning.
This is your third season in Washington, and every season that I've been covering the team, we've heard something is different this year. There's just something about this team. It's coming together. Something's really going to happen. I want to be a part of this. This year, you guys haven't said it, but yet you go out Sunday and you make a heck of a statement against Drew Brees, one of the highest powered offenses in the entire National Football League, in one of the toughest venues to play in the entire National Football League.
To be honest with you, I love the atmosphere. You know, they were going crazy. Vilma and Will Smith got cleared before the game to play. The whole Bounty Gate thing, all that stuff. The fans were going crazy. They were chanting, "Who dat?" I was talking to RGIII. He said that pumped him up. I know it pumps me up. I don't care whether it's home or away. I don't care whether, obviously I like to be cheered at home, but if they're booing me at the away, that pumps me up. So I love things like that. And I think that's the effect that the whole team had. And, you know, I think we were ready to play anyways, but I think that just kind of added the topping to the cake, if you will.
And you know what? Aside from RG3's remarkable performance, which of course we're going to touch on, and Pierre Garçon going over 100 receiving yards, and the rookie running back Alfred Morris doing his thing. Mike Shanahan this week named him the starter for the foreseeable future, so kudos to him for earning that spot. But I was watching the defense very closely this week, and here's what I noticed about you. They showed you a lot of respect. You were double teamed for the bulk of the game, were you not?
I mean, that's my job. I know that. You know, the 3-4 defensive linemen, you get, 15, 20 sacks like Jared Allen or DeMarcus Ware. Our job is to take on those double teams so London Fletcher can lead the league in tackles, so Kerrigan can get, however many sacks he gets, double digits, or Brian Arakpo. Our job is, I almost feel like we're the offensive line of the defense. We clear the way for everyone else. We're allowed to make tackles and make plays. And, I had 5 sacks last year. My goal is to improve on that. But being realistic, we're clearing the way for everyone else to do their job. And if we're doing a good job and they're doing their job, I mean, we're going to be a successful defense. We have that kind of capabilities.
And it just became abundantly clear to me why it is that you spend so much time in the weight room and why you pride yourself on having the largest arms on the D-line, because you're going against not one, but 2 300-plus pound guys every single week. That's a lot to shoulder, my friend.
Absolutely, but it's in my job description. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. And that is why I take pride in the weight room and being strong and working so hard so I can take on those double teams, play the run, push the pocket against the passer.
Let's talk about the offense a little bit. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Could you honestly have predicted Robert have as good of a game as he did? This is a heck of a statement to make in his coming out party in the NFL.
There's no way to predict anything like that. I've said time and time again that the guy is going to be a real good player. A lot of talent, speed, arm strength, smart, works hard. You just never know what you're going to get out of a rookie, even week to week. But to predict something like that would be impossible. Am I surprised by it? Maybe a little bit, but the fact is he has that kind of capabilities. Being a rookie, he's just got to learn to be consistent, do it week after week. And the offense showed what they're capable of as well.
And he earned Rookie of the Week as well as Offensive Player of the Week honors his first outing. You can't ask for much more than that. Pierre Garçon, let's talk about him for a bit. On the receiving end of an 88-yard touchdown pass, we're going to be speaking to him in the next segment. But you're on the sideline. That's a one-play drive. And I'm thinking, it's not a turnover, but they're not getting a whole heck of a lot of rest over there. Are you a little bit salty? Maybe you want that 10-play drive before they score?
No, I want touchdowns. Yeah, if they want to take 10 plays, if they want to take 1 play, a little more rest is always nice. But when I look up and I see a guy racing past everybody else for an 88-yard touchdown, all I'm going to do is jump up and yell and scream and hoot and holler. That's exciting. And, I I was surprised because it happened so quickly. I literally sat down, had a glass of water, and I was so surprised that it happened so quickly. But that's what I like to see.
And it's something that we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of in years past, which is, again, and I know, I'm the journalist. It's my job to sensationalize these things. But I will tell you, honestly, there are a lot of journalists, even the most cynic of media guys out there, are starting to believe in this team and really see a lot of excitement coming, if not this season, then certainly in the next 2 to 3 years. That 5-year Mike Shanahan plan has again become abundantly clear and onward and upward for this franchise.
Well, like I've said before, we have a lot of confidence in what we can do. We know our abilities. We're confident as a team. It's one game, so you can't go too crazy with it. I'm not trying to downplay it or anything like that, but this is a long season. We want to come out and show what we can do on the field rather than talk about it. Like I said, we're confident, but we're going to show what we can do on the field.
Now, how difficult is it going to be for you guys to put this excitement of week one behind you? You say it's just one game. I'm sure that the locker room shares in that mentality. How difficult is it to put this week one win behind you and now get focused for St. Louis?
To be honest with you, it's not difficult. Monday, after the game Sunday, you kind of celebrate. Monday, you go back, you watch, and you feel good about it. Tuesday, you kind of relax, and then come Wednesday, you're getting ready for the next game. It would be the same thing if we lost. You do the same exact thing. You look at the game on Monday, you rest Tuesday, and you get ready for the next game on Wednesday. That's just our job description. That's what we do. Hopefully this time next week we're having this same conversation. How do you get calm down from 2-0, getting ready to go against the Bengals? So hopefully we're having this same conversation a week from now.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the St. Louis Rams. Obviously, you have a long, storied history with that franchise, and boy, those people out in St. Louis, they just love you.
Yes, they're my biggest fans.
Do you get a little extra excited getting the chance to go back and play them as an opponent? I believe this is the 3rd year in a row. Maybe you've gotten the opportunity to do that?
We've gone back there 3 years in a row. Honestly, I feel like a heel in the WWE when I go there, and I love that. When I go to Nebraska, people like me. Here around D.C., for the most part, people like me. When I go there, I had people go to the game last year that I gave tickets to. People were trying to fight them in the stands when they found out that they were rooting for me and they were fans of Adam Carriker. People were trying to fight them. What is wrong with you people? And, if I make a tackle, I get booed. In the entrance, I get booed. And I love it. I relish it because it's easy to be liked. It's easy to be cheered. Not everyone can handle being booed and being, hated. And I love that there. And especially if we win. When we won last year, that was great. And I got the sack to close out the game. It couldn't have been much better fitting ending to the game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, dream scenario for me, who will be covering this from his couch, you get your sack again this week, and you celebrate. You do the Hulk Hogan. You do one of these, let's hear the boos from the crowd. Bring it on. I mean, you would relish that moment, my friend. You would eat that up, and I can see you smiling about it now. So I know you're like, yeah, I would like that.
You just gave away my plan, dude. I was going to get the sack. I was going to do the Hogan, maybe a little bicep kiss afterwards. I just, like I said, I love going there and playing because it's like I've come here and I've shown what I can do. And it's like people hate me because they didn't like what I did there. They like what I've done here and they wish I hadn't left. So I relish that whole thing and getting the victory and everything, that'll be just, be sweetness, hopefully we can pull that off.
Well, let's talk seriously for a bit. The Rams actually gave a scare to a pretty good Detroit Lions franchise in week 1. What have you seen out of them? What are you most concerned about as far as, matching up head to head with those guys?
They played very well. The Lions are obviously a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender, right down to the wire. Sam Bradford's a very good quarterback. He's taken some heat out there. But I've seen the guy in film. The guy can play. The guy can throw. He's very accurate. Steven Jackson's one of the best running backs in the game. Their offensive line's a little bit banged up, but their defense is running around making plays. They got a lot of athletic ability over. So they definitely present some problems. Like I've always said, we're very confident in what we can do.
Offensive line is banged up. As a fan of yours, I will say I'm a fan of Adam Carriker. I'm looking forward to you perhaps getting that sack if you possibly could, because nothing as your friend, albeit you bully me around a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so nice to you.
All the time, 24/7.
24, 365 and a quarter days a year.
But nothing would make me happier than to see you get your moment out there in St. Louis. So honestly, I'm really pulling hard for you and the entire team this week, especially, and I wish you nothing but the best out there.
Well, I appreciate that. And honestly, if I didn't get a tackle, a sack, if I didn't touch anybody the whole game, I could be more than happy with that as long as we get the W, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You know who did get the W? New York Jets.
The Jets?
I don't know what happened. Maybe a lot of hype on my part in the preseason, but I'm still not sold. I still think that it was the wrong move, Rex Ryan. But you know what? It worked in week 1, but there are 15 other games to go.
Well, what are you complaining about? Sanchez played well. I thought you were going to come in and gloat, and I was right. Look how good Sanchez is. They shouldn't have even brought Tebow out there. It was a waste. I thought that was going to be your approach.
No. My approach is they shouldn't have ever brought Tebow in the first place. This was unnecessary to put that kind of pressure on Mark Sanchez. This is my thing. Because I am a Mark Sanchez believer. I'm also a Tim Tebow
Believer?
I'm a daydream believer, but more than that, I'm a Mark Sanchez believer. And what they did to bring in Tim Tebow, to put pressure on him, still uncalled for, but you know what? It produced results, so who am I to argue at this point?
Well, here's my point. You know, Sanchez has always had the ability. He's always been a good game manager. Maybe this push from Tebow is what he needed. Maybe this is what made him watch a little extra film, a little extra time with his receivers, a little extra time in the weight room. And maybe this is what has pushed him to become, you know, at least in week 1, a much more accomplished passer and leader of that offense. I mean, they went from scoring no offensive touchdowns in the preseason to just almost an offensive explosion. Maybe that's what that little push was about.
Back-to-back AFC Championship game appearances. That's all I have to say. And that was
I didn't say it wasn't good. I'm just saying this could push him to that next level. Like how I was in high school, just that next level high school quarterback. You know, maybe he can do that in the NFL.
Maybe he can. But
Because
it was the wrong move to bring in Tebow.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get me to move on that. So anyway, next up, we're going to bring in.
You're wrong.
I'm right. You're wrong, and I'm not afraid to say it.
I'm tall. You're short. I'm not afraid to say it.
Again, we're stating facts. I'm right. You're wrong. So
Fact is, I'm tall. You're short.
And that's a fact. No problem.
Give me 5.
Stand
on that chair and give me 5.
Shut up, Adam.
Stand
shut
up. Give me 5.
On the flip side, we're going to award the inaugural 4th and Pain championship belt. Don't go away. This is 4th and Pain.
Can't believe you didn't give me 5.